It's me, Denise Stegall, longevity concierge, who works with women 45 to 65, those years where we're going through the different phases of menopause. Yes, that's who I help. My goal is to really help you to navigate, that's a better word, navigate the phases of menopause so you can find that healthy lifestyle that works for you now, because what happened worked 10 years ago, 5 years ago isn't working now. So everything that I do here on Healthy Living Happy Life podcast is geared to helping you to make good decisions, eat real food, and to really hold yourself accountable to the things that are going to up level your health. So today, the second full week of January 2025. Welcome to 2025. Woo, woo, woo. Feel alive in 25, my friends. Today, I'd like to talk to you about letting go of resolutions, and discussing a different type of framework for flourishing in this new year. For those of you who have never been here, I'd like to welcome you. Thank you to those of you who are joining me again. I really appreciate you being here. So what I want us to think about are resolutions, right? How many years have you made resolutions that just fell flat? Every year since you knew what I don't know why I keep saying resolution is, right? Did you make one this year? Like on the 1st? Okay, today's the 9th. You're still, working on it, or has it already fallen by the wayside? For most people, these things fall by the wayside really, really quickly. And that really doesn't help us to start the year on a good note, right? On a positive note, right step, whatever you might give it a name, right? So instead, we're going to explore a strategy today for creating a vibrant, balanced life in 2025. One where you're going to reach goals that mean something to you, not necessarily that one big resolution, because a resolution basically is something that you're going to stop doing. I resolve not to eat pizza for the rest of my life. Yeah, that's never happening. Or I resolve to work out every single day for an hour and a half. Yeah, that's not happening either, right? So what happens, what we find with resolutions is it just really leaves us feeling frustrated, uninspired. So let's explore a different approach. Instead of a resolution, instead this year, let's think of a theme which takes away the rigidity of goals. So your theme is what's going to help you to thrive in 2025. Ooh, I'm a poet and don't know it. Apparently I do know it. But anyway, so why resolutions fail? Let's tackle that for a moment. 25% of people stick to their resolutions after 30 days, and only 10% of them achieve their goals, whatever that might have been. And this is information that came straight from Columbia University. They're pretty smart there. They kind of figure these things out. So if 25% of people stick to a resolution for 30 days, there are, I hate to tell you, but there are 12 months in a year. 30 days is just the first month. So 25% of people are getting through the month of January. And then what? It all falls apart, right? And of the people who make resolutions, only 10% of people are actually achieving them. Well, that's not a great number, right? That's not a great percentage. Yeah, if you're in that 10%, that's awesome. But if you're in the rest of the 90%, not so great, right? So why is this the case? Pitfalls. There's always pitfalls to these things. A lot of times we come up with these really over ambitious goals that are not necessarily, that could be achievable, but the challenge is that there are these huge goals, but then we don't have any actionable steps to take. I'm going to lose 100 pounds this year. That's a big, hairy goal, right? But if you haven't thought about, what am I going to eat? How am I going to meal plan? Do I need support? How much exercise? What kind of exercise? If you haven't figured out those action steps, By the end of the year, guess what? You're not going to have reached that 100 pound. Now you may have lost 5 or 10 or 20, and that's amazing. But if you're setting yourself up for 100 and you've gained and you lose 25, how disappointed are you going to be? You're not going to be excited about the 25 you lost. You're going to be thinking about the 75 that you didn't. So that is one of the biggest pitfalls. The second is that the lack of support that most people need when it comes to change, setting a goal, reaching goals, right? You need support, whether it's a coach like me, whether it's your BFF, your spouse, a group. Sometimes, with a group program, people find this really great because the group helps you, or the person helps you to stay motivated. So you really need to have support. How many times does somebody say, oh, my resolution, they think to themselves, I'm going to resolve this year to, exercise 6 days a week. But if you don't tell anybody that, you're exercising 3 4 days, maybe then all of a sudden it's 2 days. If you haven't told anybody, I really want to try to work out, 6 days a week. But if that person is asking you, hey, how are you doing with that? And you say, oh, I'm making it 1 or 2, maybe they can encourage you to make it 3 or 4, right? You don't have to work out 6 days a week. You don't. I know a lot of exercise people don't want to hear that, but you don't. When you plan well and you are doing the right exercise for you at this stage in your life, it's a lot different. Anyway, that's a totally different topic. This is a really huge piece of this resolution. We have this horrible all or nothing mindset. Another way to say that, perfectionism. If it's not perfect, it's not good enough. This all or nothing mindset is something that holds us back and stops us in our tracks time and time again. Because when you have a small slip up, all of a sudden you feel like a failure, right? Kind of like I said before about, you say you want to lose 100 pounds, but you lose 25. You don't focus on the 25, you're focusing on the 75. And so it's not all or nothing. You've actually accomplished something. A lot of times what happens when we slip up, we give up, right? So I truly find that a solution to these three major problems is to adopt a yearly theme, something that's flexible, something that's inspiring. And this is important. It's rooted in growth. We always need to be learning, growing, expanding. If we don't, it's when we stop growing, when we stop learning and get complacent, that life gets boring. We have nothing to look forward to. We're not curious anymore. So continuing to grow is so important. So that's why this theme is something that will help you to continue to grow. So let's talk about the power of the theme. Power of the theme. Power. Like Wonder Woman here. I've got power. I've got the power. Yeah, that's as long as I'm getting with that one, as far as I'm getting with that song. Anyway, so a theme is essentially your guiding principle for making decisions, changing habits or working on different habits, and most importantly, working on your mindset. This is really a huge part of what I do with my clients, is work on mindset. If you have a negative mindset, you're never going to achieve the things that you want to achieve, despite what your theme is. So if that's something that you're really struggling with, let's connect. So for example, my theme for 2025 is impact. Initially, I thought impact, that's kind of a strong word, right? And I kind of danced around some other words that would be like, I'm like, motivate, that's a really good word. Inspire, that's a really good word too. It's very nice. It's very la-di-da. It's very, kumbaya, kumbaya. But that wasn't what I meant. I really meant impact. I want to make an impact on the world. I want to make a positive impact on you. I want to make a positive impact on myself, on my spouse, on my friends and my family. Something that is life-changing. Impact is life-changing. And sometimes just little things can be life-changing, right? When you are eating a diet full of processed foods and you stop eating them or you eat fewer processed foods, the impact, it's a small thing. The impact is huge. All of a sudden, you don't have any gut issues. Your digestion is better. You have better energy. Oh my gosh. And this is from just that one simple thing. And that is completely impactful and life changing. So I like the word impact because it is truly, it's positive. It is influential. And it does include the personal growth piece that I think is really important. This is going to help me grow. It's going to help others grow, and it will grow my community as well. It will help my community to grow. So I think this is really an important piece. So what are some other ideas for themes? I've used this word a couple of times. How about growth? How do you want to grow this year? Do you want to learn a new skill? Do you want to learn how to play the guitar or the piano? Do you want to learn a new language? What is it? Is that something that resonates with you? How about connection? You want to be more connected to yourself, to spirit, to others. Is that important to you? Vitality. This is a great one, especially for women going through the phases of menopause. Vitality is a big deal because sometimes we feel like we don't have it. And if we focus on that, we can figure out what is holding us back. And then we can then move forward and experience the vitality that, one, we deserve, and two, that we desire. And then the last one I think of, now these are just some suggestions. You can pick your own word, and I hope that you do. The last one I thought of was or is balance. Now, balance is an interesting word because it's more harmony than balance. Like nothing is really completely in life completely balanced 50-50, right? There are too many things going on in life. If you just had work and life, that would be great. You could balance them a little bit better. But then you have relationships, you have community, you have things that you like to do, there's exercise, all of those things. So you can't balance all of those things, but you can find a harmony with them. So the theme shifts the focus from the outcome, like weight loss, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, to a broader aspiration. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel energetic? You want to feel strong? You want to feel good in your clothes, right? Saying weight loss, I want to lose 100 pounds, or I want to lose 20 pounds. That's a start, but let's dig deeper, right? If you lose 20 pounds, what is that going to do for you? It's going to boost your confidence. You're going to feel good. You're going to have more energy. You're going to fit in the clothes that are sitting in the closet, right? As you lose, as you're, losing weight or working out, whatever it might be, you're getting stronger, mentally and physically and emotionally. So it touches all the bases. Losing weight doesn't really touch all those bases until you look at it in a broader way. So living this daily theme, of course, once you have your theme, here's some tips for integrating it into your life. I want you to visualize success. What does it mean to have impact? Who do you want to be? Like at the end of the year. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be somebody completely different, but you're going to, if you're learning and growing, you're going to have different new attributes that you have cultivated. How do you want to feel? You want to feel energetic. You want to feel empowered. You want to feel confident, right? These are all great positive feelings. Nobody wants to walk around feeling, oh, I feel okay. Boring. That's not living life. Our goal here is to live the healthiest, the most vibrant, the most energetic life that we can for as long as we can, right? As the longevity concierge, I talk about long life, right? But what we just do today, the decisions we make today are going to affect tomorrow, next week, next month, next decade, whatever. So how do you want to feel? The next step, and I mentioned this before, is to set some goals. But these are micro goals. These are just little mini goals, right? You want to break them into small, digestible pieces, if you will. They're achievable steps. So for example, I'm my word impact, I'm going to use that again. How do I want to impact myself and my husband when it comes to our nutrition, right? Now, I cook pretty much every night. I would say at least 5 nights out of the week, sometimes six. Um, to best impact that in a positive way, maybe the thing to do is every Sunday, well, actually Saturday, every Saturday, I do a meal plan. I order my food. It's cold here in Minnesota right now, so I'm not going to the store. They're coming to me. I order the food, and then I do a little bit of meal prep. And so I've set myself up for success. So that doesn't take a lot of time, right? It's a mini goal. So this every week, my one goal on a Saturday is to plan what we're going to have for dinner for the next 6 days, order the food, and prep what needs to prep. You get a bag of peppers or whatever it is, any kind of veggie, cut them up, put them in a container. And I do recommend glass containers because you can see what's in them, right? So that's a great way for me to have impact on our nutrition. Maybe your theme is energy. Maybe it's your mini goal is to take a short walk every day. Maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe it's 30 minutes, right? But I have a friend who he did this last year and he's doing it again. Hi, Matt. He does something where he walks 1 mile every single day. And last year he got every single day, even with the cold. He said this the other day. It was cold out the other day in New York, but he still went out and he got his 1 mile in. 1 mile's not huge. Now he's been exercising, he's in good shape, so he can do this. But 1 mile, that's amazing. It's just one thing. And how impactful is that going to be? Think about it. If he does that every single day, he would have walked 365 days by the end of the year. How many of us can say that? If your word is connection, maybe it's, reconnecting with loved ones, people that, love and trust, but maybe haven't talked to in a while. I texted my best friend from high school recently. I hadn't talked to her in a while, and the most recent text I had from her wasn't very positive. And I thought, I should really connect, one, because she's my friend and I care about her, but also connecting is something that we really need in our lives as humans. We're kind of tribal, and connecting with people is such an important way to do that. I mean, yes, you can go to work and you can talk with the people that are there. You can be on Zoom and you can listen to podcasts. That's all great. That's all a way of connecting. But I'm talking about personal connection, right? So maybe texting someone you haven't talked to in a while, writing a thank you note to someone who did something special for you. I mean, the holidays have just passed. Have you written a thank you note to somebody who bought you a nice gift? Note to self, I actually still need to do that. And then this last bit is really, really important. This third step is really important, is to track your progress. Now, it doesn't have to be a big deal, but I recommend getting a journal. It could be a notebook, it could be on your phone, whatever, just to reflect on how this is working. What worked today? What didn't work today? What could you do better? Right? All of those things are important. Because again, if you don't know where you are, and you don't know what your progress is, you get to the end of the week, the end of the month, and you're going, I don't know, is this even working for me? How would you know if you haven't really paid attention? So journaling, I think, is really an important. And when I say journaling, again, it could be, you could write a sentence. I walked a mile today and I felt good. This is working. I walked in. It took me 17 minutes, and then 2 weeks from now, I walked my mile. It took 15 minutes. Those are things that I think are really impactful for us to see. There's my word again. But again, it doesn't have to be long, flowy. Like when people talk about journaling, they want you to kind of come up with all of your feelings and thoughts and get it all out there and brain dump. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm really just talking about tracking progress in a journal. Okay. So this next piece, so this is essentially segment number 4, step number 4. Change is easier with the support of a mentor, a friend, or a community. This is really where I get excited. The Forever Wellness lifestyle program by Denise, uh, by me. This is something that is designed for busy professional women to align with their theme. Now, this is something that I started initially based on my best-selling book, Healthy Living, Happy Life. Oh, you've heard that before. That's the name of this podcast, right? And I really believe that when you're living a healthy life, happiness comes easily. Like the things that you are that make you happy are just so much easier to achieve because you feel good, you have energy, and you're open to it. And working in a group or working with a coach or a mentor is a great way to help you to want to see that, right? Um, and let's be real, busy, we're busy. I hate that word busy, but that's the word we use all the time. Our schedules are full. We're always doing something. We're always going someplace. We don't spend enough time just sitting and feeling our feelings and thinking our thoughts really. And so this is where the community piece to Forever Wellness comes in, because it's 45 minutes of time twice a month where you can take for just you, right? It's not being selfish. It is something that is absolutely required. If you're going to be healthy and happy, you need to take you time. And this is a great way to do it. Whether you want to focus on nutrition, if that's your theme, nutrition or mindset. I talked about that a little bit earlier. I have a beautiful mindset program that really just helps us to understand where our negative thoughts come from and how to catch them and change the narrative. Movement is another piece. People always say, oh, I'm going to exercise, that's a big part of it. Well, maybe movement is your theme. Maybe you've been a couch potato for the last 4 years, since that crazy time, right? Many people have not gotten back to life as it was. Maybe movement is something that you really need. It's something that we all need. Again, as humans, we need to get our bodies moving. We need to be able to stretch, and we need strength. All of that is movement. It's not necessarily just exercise that is what's going to keep us healthy and strong, right? But it's the natural movements that we do. Can you bend down and tie your shoe? That's a big deal. I know people in their 60s who can't do that. Shoot, I know people in their 50s who can't do that. Can you get up off the floor without using your hands? Can you get up off a chair without using your hands? If the answer is no, we should really talk, because that is a sign of that you're going in a negative direction with your health. And what ends up where that is going is towards the direction of frailty. And it's one thing if you're 90, it's another thing if you're 60 or 50. So there's so many reasons to make sure that you're connecting with the support of a coach, a mentor, or a community. It's going to help you continue to move forward and to continue to grow. So what else do I want to talk to you about? Let's see. Creating your dream. Let's see. Or you're creating your dream, creating your theme. Yep, I talked about that. I want to just go back and reflect a little bit on, that's a word, there's another word, about creating your theme for 2025. An easy way to do this is to actually reflect on 2024. What worked last year? What didn't work last year? How did you feel about things? How do you feel about life today? What's the one thing that you could change in life that would make things easier, right? Almost like the book, The One Thing for Business. What's the one thing that you could do that would make everything easier or not necessary, right? That's kind of what you want to reflect on when you're creating your theme. Again, keywords, I gave you a handful: harmony, balance, vitality, connection. But I think the most important thing, and this is something that I will leave you. This is where I will leave you today, is being aligned with your actions and your core self. So who you are to your core is not going to change because you have a theme for 2025. This is going to, your core values are actually going to come out when it comes to your theme. You're going to expand. So the being aligned with your action, this is really your compass for making these decisions. And there's actually, we already have the compass, it's our core values, but we don't think of it this way. We never think of our core values. Core values are, certain things that you believe, right? Things that you believe in. Sometimes those get in the way of decision making for whatever reason. But having a theme, choosing your theme for the year, is going to align with who you are. It's going to be that guiding compass, that guiding light, your North Star, so to speak, for every decision that you make. So, for example, if balance is your word for the year, is your theme for the year. So I don't know, I keep saying balance. I really do mean harmony, but I say balance. It's just a word that I've used year and year and year out, right? But balance, harmony. They use it, and I use it interchangeably, but truly I mean more harmony in life. And how do you do that? Aligned actions, prioritizing self-care, setting boundaries, big part of any of these themes is to have boundaries, right? This is something that you want to do. This is something that you want to focus on, you want to grow. So setting these boundaries are so important. So that, to me, my friends, is why 2025 is going to be different for you. This is why you're going to thrive in 2025, because you've thrown out the resolution, the whole concept of a resolution, and adopted the concept of holding a theme for the year. Now, quick secret. If you decide each quarter to change your theme, that's okay too. I'm with you on that. But again, if this is something that you need some support on, please connect with me. You can leave comments on the YouTube, connect with me on social media. I'd like to thank you all for listening, for tuning in. Please share this episode with somebody who is ready to let go of resolutions. Subscribe, leave me a review. Would love to hear what you have to say. Again, connect on social media, and this will be the year that you thrive in 2025. We'll see you next time.